Hello everyone and welcome to another timeless video. So today we'll be taking a look at Cecile Delirium deck in timeless format. So we're looking at another Cecile deck today. And from my testings, definitely the Cecile the Dark Knight seems like it's pretty generically good card in just about any deck I played so far. Like, you don't actually have to have a life gain synergy. On average, I think this card loses about 2 life total. Because along with Thought Seizes, Fetches, Shockland, give or take, this is gonna transform in just about a singular combat. Once it transforms, in this deck in particular, and especially in Delirium deck where you can play 4 copies of Fear Missing Out, you could also give the Cecile attack twice too, so that it transforms faster. But it's even better if it's transformed, give it another attack with the Fear of Missing Out with a life link. And you also have a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Once the Cecile transforms into a redeemed paladin, the other attacking creatures get indestructible too. So given that the Dreadhorde Arcanist doesn't really have that much power and toughness, with the Redeemed Knight, it does allow you to attack with the Arcanist, giving it indestructible so that you can save the Arcanist for another turn. And of course, we're also going to be playing Corey Steelcutter in this deck because why not? And lastly, in the sideboard, we got 2 copies of Nature's Claim that came with the Final Fantasy set. We're just trying this card out instead of a Pick Your Poison because this happens to be an instant speed spell. So against Show and Tell decks, if for some reason they don't have any instant speed spells, you could also use this Nature's Claim to get rid of it. Or let's say if you have an open mana and then you put down a Vexing Bauble, and if opponent tries to get rid of the Vexing Bauble with things like uncounterable spells, you can, in response, use a Nature's Claim, and hopefully they don't have the second uncounterable spell to get rid of the Vexing Bauble. So we'll see how this one does. So having said that, I'm gonna be hopping over to some Thomas Weasel 3 to show you guys how that does. So let's hop on over. Alright. This is a pretty good looking hand, I must say. I think I will start with the Dragon Rage Channeler since I'm going first. Okay, so we got a blue-black player. I think we definitely want to resolve this Corey Steelcutter as soon as possible. I think that's going to increase our chance of winning by quite a bit. Would be nice to see another land here, and we don't. Okay, I'll start with the Thoughtseize. I'm just looking for lands at the moment. Could be a Bowmaster coming out. They decided to mana drain. Okay, sure. Fatal Push? Okay. So we haven't seen a land in the 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 cards now. There's a good chance we might see one here. So let's go Fear Missing Out. And we are going to Unholy Heat this Psychic Frog. Nether Goyf. Haven't seen that card in a while. Now, the best card I can draw again is a land.
Is there a deeper meaning to
Not a
this?
tap land though. I'll probably play this now. I'll pass my turn. Wish it wasn't a tap land. We could have gotten another Corey Steel Cutter trigger and then get the Arcanist down, which means that it would have been so good. Okay, another land. So opponent passes. That's good. Okay. Decline. And we pass. So they're gonna top a Fatal Push. This definitely does not look good. It's really rare for this deck to draw this many like creatures though. Okay, that's a really good card that we just drew. Wow. So let's see if... Okay, so they do decide... Wow. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Fatal Push wasn't used. Yeah, that was... I think that was definitely a mistake there on opponent's part. Alright, Molten Collapse in. We might actually have to remove the Surgical for a Graveyard Hate. Let's see... Because a Graveyard Hate would be very nice against the Nethergoyf deck. I'm gonna cut a Teaching and maybe a Ragavan. Boom. Okay, we see a little bit of a Cecile action here. That's pretty cool. See, do they pass? Nope. They're looking for a removal spell for this Cecile, I think. Now, I could go Corey Steelcutter. Wow, I have so many choices. I think there's a very, very high chance, the fact that opponents just played Brainstorm like this, there's a very good chance that they have a Spell Snare. I feel like if they had a removal spell, they would use it on turn 1. So I think I'm just going to Ragavan dash in. This way, even if they do have a Fatal Push, they have to choose between a Cecile and Ragavan, right? So either they just drew this, or I just miscalculated, basically. Alright, let's keep attacking. And then we're gonna pass. Like I said, I do think they have a spell snare. I think they just might have just drawn a fatal push. There's a very good chance opponent has a spell snare here.
This is an interesting story.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. Alright, so because of Amnep, the Orcish Bowmaster isn't gonna be able to kill this Tameo. But I think I am doing a lot by doing this. I still get like, you know, a 4/4.
I hope you don't mind if I take notes.
And next turn we can do Quarry Steel Cutter plus a Molten Collapse again.
I am not defenseless.
All right. So what should I do? I think I'll start with the Quarry Steel Cutter. Then I'll probably Molten Collapse here.
But I thought knowledge was power.
Then I'll attack. I do think they have to kill the Orcish Bowmaster because their deck just draws a ton. But looks like they went for that instead. That's a great card. Went for a Psychic Frog, but decides to play the Bauble, so now they can't block this 5/5. Let's start by attacking with the 5/5 here. I think I will just teaching. So if I actually teaching first, I would have been in a much better position where opponents at 1 Darn. Mistakes were made. Right. Okay, GG's. They would have actually died anyways, I think. Let me see. Fatal push this? Nah, actually no. Because the Mystic Sanctuary can grab back a fatal push again and then kill this. So what was the play there? Channeler? Yeah, I don't see a lethal. I guess I could also play like Loris. Get back a Quarry Steel Cutter. All right. Okay, we got a Fear of Missing Out with the haste here. If this is show and tell, okay. Never mind. It is a Psychic Frog, though. Let's see what we can draw here. Ooh. Reanimate. So next turn we can reanimate opponent's Psychic Frog and then fear missing out. That's fine, like, who cares? Okay. Okay, I think I'm actually going to keep this one. So I could even like so we're going to Unholy Heat this thing and attack twice. Another Brainstorm. Okay. That is kind of bot. Wait, what? Oh, man. It used both of my Arena of Glory mana. Wow. That's really upsetting. I'm getting absolutely destroyed. So we can get an Orcish Bowmaster or a Psychic Frog. I think we go for Psychic Frog, maybe? Because we can, like, make it fly? surprised they did... What? Opponent? You could have double blocked this? Of the Beanstalk. Okay, it's a Beanstalk deck. Into another Psychic Frog. Cecile. All right, opponent. So, Beanstalk. Absent Beanstalk with probably Leyline Binding as well. Do we want this Nature's Claim? I mean, we gotta test it out, right? Cut a Ragavan because they play way too many Bowmasters. I'll cut one copy of Fear Missing Out. Boom. Alright. Excellent hand, by the way. Never mind. Goodbye, Corey Steelcutter. It was nice knowing you. Wait, what? Huh. Interesting. Wrath of the Skies. So currently I can't deal with a Psychic Frog at the moment. I think I have to get rid of this Psychic Frog. Also, opponent didn't fetch a White Source, so they might have a pretty hard time actually casting that. I'll take away the Psychic Frog there. And I think I'm going to reanimate the... my Dreadhorde Arcanist immediately. I'll save the Mishra's Bauble for the Corey Steelcutter. I'll pass. Because I want to get rid of the Wrath of the Skies, right? Even if they get another white mana here, they can't exactly, you know, Wrath of the Skies immediately. Oh, that is kind of annoying because now... that is actually pretty good because... Wait, they still didn't fetch... So this doesn't work, right?
This is not just a battle of arms.
Okay.
Respect the library.
It's 2 to equip. Alright, this is actually kind of bad. I think I just kind of need to hope for them to brick, that they don't draw a white land. Yeah, this doesn't work, right? Oh, it does. Oh, I'm just tripping. Never mind, I'm okay. This happens after the Dreadhorde Arcanist trigger. Oh, never mind.
Do you mind?
I also didn't know it worked like that. Okay, learning here. I probably want that, right? Oh my god, it was a white tap land.
Violence is not the answer.
All right. So we're gonna equip this and attack. Boom. So Bowmaster comes in. Oh, wow. Did they fetch? That's actually super smart what they did. Okay, we have a game. They're gonna top deck Wrath of the Skies here. Because I don't believe they fetched, right? So
Respect the library.
Wrath of the Skies coming out. And then we Bowmaster. Okay. So we Bowmaster. Give it Prowess and Haste. And then Teaching.
Fix everything.
Attack.
Don't underestimate me.
And then they might get back another Wrath of the Skies and then do it again. And then because of the Teaching, we can kill the Tamio that way. Wow.
You're so
Greedy.
destructive.
Greedy.
I am not
This
defensive.
must be a removal spell then. Do we have anything in there? Okay, it was another Beanstalk. So if I rush in this Dreadport Arcanist, it gets a Prowess. So we have 1, 2. When I cast this, 3, 4. I'm gonna deal 4 damage total, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So they're minus. They're not gonna be able to minus, basically. I'll probably... I mean, I could reanimate again. Actually, if I reanimate... the Tamil dies, actually. Right?
That
I
toad
lied.
is one of a kind. Use the past to plan for the future.
Wow, okay. I keep thinking that the Arcanist can get back something. That was definitely a mistake that I made. If I just got Fear of Missing out, would that have changed anything? I wonder. I'm not sure if I would have actually been able to do so.
Oh no!
So far the this card actually hasn't done anything, right?
Don't underestimate me.
Wow.
I am not defenseless.
Ooh. Do we want to do it though? I feel like this is good enough, right? I think we have to attack all onto Tamio. I think I want to save this for like another future Wrath of the Skies, but not sure. Might be too conservative. We'll see. This Tamio has been alive for a very long time.
Perhaps not every battle can be won.
Right, I think I'm just gonna pass here. It was a Bowmaster. Funny thing is, because this is an enchantment, I can actually gain life. Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's actually tap it right this time. Fatal push. Okay, sure. Maybe hold a Bowmaster back. Binding. They're gonna draw land. They could cycle it. Oh man, what a close game. I definitely misplayed a couple of times because I have actually never dealt with this interaction before. The Tamio and the Dragon Rage Chandler. So funny thing is, I was under the assumption that this is still going to be able to trigger, but it actually doesn't. I think it's because of the Abnap. Their triggers go on stack first so that the Arcanist trigger actually doesn't happen. Okay. Cecile. Okay, seems like they have a subtlety. For sure. Could be a solitude too. Okay, they could have actually kept the one lander there. Opponent does find the land. Into a Tameo.
If you need me, I'll be in the library.
That's so good. I think I'm gonna actually bottom that. So there's actually a good chance they don't have a Flare of Denial. What they could have done if they had a Flare of Denial with subtlety is they could have saved the Tameo there. Psychic Frog, sure. So I think I am going to... I'll probably attack with the Cecile first. Did I... I held a full control too late. I could have actually transformed the Cecile there. But that was my bad. But they are going to use a subtlety there. Man, I could have transformed the Cecile there if I was just tiny bit faster. I hurried to my keyboard, right? To actually transform the Cecile there, but I couldn't. I was just a tiny bit slow. Might lose to this frog, unfortunately. Definitely not a bad one. The thing is, if I top that, I go to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty good. Okay. Attack. Transform. And I am going to play Dreadhorde Arcanist again. So there's only one card in the graveyard, so we don't have to worry about something like a treasure cruise coming down here. All right. I guess I should use the Fatal Push first because even if it gets countered, the Dreadhorde Arcanist can still get it back. All right. another bolt. The life gain here is so huge. But I did misplay, right? I did misplay with the Cecile. Because I took one more damage. I took 2 more damage than necessary. The funny thing is, the reason why my left hand wasn't on my keyboard to press the control fast enough was because I had my hand behind my chair because I was basically stretching my hand. Alright. So... excellent showing from Cecile there, giving our creatures indestructible, and the lifelink as well. I don't think we need anything else besides these. They might have Deafening Silence, but I think we can just... I think the Deafening Silence is okay. I'm gonna cut a copy of Ragavan as usual. Maybe even another copy of it. By the way, this sneaky reanimate has been doing wonders. Alright. So, we could technically keep this because we have a teaching, but we have too many 2-mana cards. I think Ghost Vacuum probably has to go. And maybe because I'm Alto 5, I'm not gonna have enough cards, so if the Fear of Missing Out comes out when I don't have a card, that'll draw me an extra card. Alright, so opponent passed with potentially a removal spell, so I'm just going to pass my turn. Because I want to have a Fatal Push-Up for the Tameo. So I will run out the Dragon Rage Channeler here. I'll probably keep that. Okay. It was expected. So we want to be able to see another land here. You know, that's not bad because that also allows us to leave up 1 mana, right? Yeah, that's a good news. Okay, upon fetching. Psychic Frog comes out. And then I will Fatal Push. So I'm not 100% if they actually had a Flare of Denial and they just kind of misplayed and not get the shield back out first, right? But I don't know, who knows? Okay, so we have a teaching. think I kind of want to... what should I do? I think if a Tamio comes out and then transforms because we have an Unholy Heat, and since this is an enchantment, it's going to actually get our Delirium up, right? So I think this is okay, so opponent misplayed. Okay, that's a pretty nice card there. Stotsies. Okay, it was a swords. Brainstorm, okay. Nice, we got a land. Okay, so there's a good chance they might have subtlety. I think I'm gonna run out the Cecile, even though, like, despite having the teaching up, it would be really nice to have it on the Arcanist, but I want them to counter Cecile, basically. So opponent hasn't cracked, so they could still have a swords in the hand. This is fine too. They went for the brainstorm. Okay, so this is a swords. I think I'm going to put the Loris back. Pretty smart, especially when they got nothing in the hand. And this way they get 3 more looks. Excellent. Alright. So, I'm gonna Thought Seize. It could be like a subtlety. It was a swords. Nice. This is perfect. Deal 3 damage. Ooh. I'll play out the Quarry Steel Cutter. So this is going to grow the prowess. Plus Brainstorm, okay. I could deal more damage by Unholy Heating the shield back, but I don't know, it's a bit risky. I think it's a subtlety. Okay. Okay, it was a Bowmaster. So they're dead next turn. If this was their best card after brainstorming, yeah, I think we're good. Oh no, it's a treasure cruise. Okay, we got a game. We got a game. Another brainstorm. So had I just used the Unholy Heat, I would have actually gotten rid of both of these Bowmasters. Okay, opponent goes to 2. Depends on what they have here. What this last card is. It was a frog. Was a frog. So I'll target here. That'll remove opponent's blocker. And I'll get rid of a Psychic Frog. And then that's going to trigger the Bowmaster with the Phantasmal Shield back, and we get rid of the Orc Army token. Yes! Alright, so we took a little bit of a look at this deck today. I am very happy with Cecile Dark Knight in this deck. The Indestructible is very nice, especially when you're attacking. Like, giving the Arcanist Indestructible is super nice. Obviously, the fact that this only has one attack, one power, means that it's just going to get killed by, like, a Psychic Frog. So, being able to attack with the Redeemed Paladin is just so sick. And this time around, like, this deck has way more 1-drops, right? Way more 1-drops. We have a Dragon Ray Channeler plus a Ragavan. Compared to the last build, I didn't really have Ragavan in the deck. This time I'm kind of trying the Ragavan out, but you could also replace this with something like, you could also try a Nethergoyf in this deck as well, but you might get hit by the Graveyard Hate a little bit too much if you do that, since we are already getting hit by the Graveyard Hate a lot with the Fear of Missing Out, Dreadhorde Arcanist, and Dragon Ray Channeler. But it's up to you, right? It's up to you. I kind of like the Ragavan because we're playing on an 18 land deck, right? Being able to generate treasure tokens is pretty nice, honestly. The sneaky reanimate in the deck was actually kind of sick too. We got to reanimate opponent's Psychic Frogs a lot. That was kind of cool. And obviously the teaching was fantastic as well. As for like the removal spell, we have like 3 copies of Fatal Push, 2 copies of Lightning Bolt. I did want some copies of burn spells in the deck, but not too much. And then I have 3 Fatal Push because this is like an unconditional just kill Psychic Frog or Tamio on sight, right? So that's why we have more copies of Fatal Push compared to the other spells here. And I wanted to fit more Orcish Bowmasters, but I couldn't. So that kind of stinked. Especially because like there's so many blue decks, so it kind of makes sense to play more Bowmasters. So you could go down on like maybe a copy of a Ragavan for a copy of a Orcish Bowmaster. That could work as well. And every time Corey Steelcutter came down, we basically won the game. Very strong against blue decks because they have a very hard time removing this card. Since the only way to actually remove this in an Esper deck is 2 copies of Prismatic Ending. Also got to test out some, like, 2 copies of Nature's Claim, but we didn't really see, like, show and tell matchups. And I also added a copy of a Ghost Vacuum after realizing after the first match that we didn't have a Graveyard Hate outside of a Surgical Extraction. So I decided to add 1 copy of a Ghost Vacuum in. And yeah, I think that about sums it up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.